One of the most interesting stories in the Bible is Jacob wrestling through the night. Think about that. A man spends an entire night in a struggle, and most people read it as a story about conflict. But what if it's actually a story about transformation? Because by morning, Jacob walks away with a new name, Israel, a new identity. Most people think that when transformation starts, the struggle should stop. But that's usually not how it works. In fact, sometimes the struggle is evidence that something is changing. Because every time you stop agreeing with an old story, there's tension. Every time you stop feeding an old pattern, there's resistance. And every time you start seeing yourself differently, the old identity doesn't leave quietly. And that's where many people quit. Not because they're failing, but because they expected change to feel easier. So they think, I'm still struggling. I'm still tempted. I'm still fighting this. And they assume nothing is happening. But what if the struggle isn't proof you're losing? What if it's proof you're no longer surrendering automatically? Think about that. There was a time when you didn't question the old pattern. You just followed it. Now you notice it. You challenge it. You resist it. And that's growth. It's not perfection, but it is growth. See, Jacob limped away from that encounter, but he also walked away different. Because transformation isn't always clean. Sometimes it looks like wrestling. Sometimes it looks like showing up again. Sometimes it looks like refusing to agree with the old story one more day. So if you're frustrated because the process feels hard, don't automatically assume you're failing. The struggle may not be evidence that transformation isn't happening. It may be evidence that it is. Comment Russell if you've ever felt this.